Right. So that's very interesting. I agree with you on all of that. So your economic charter, let's go into that. If I know that there's 7 steps, is that correct?
There's 7 principles,
Seven
yeah, yeah.
principles. Okay. So do
So
you want to start with
this,
number one?
so the principles, I left it 7 simple principles,
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with politics, they're purely economics. So what I'd like to see is I'd like to get Canada back on a sound economic foundation, right? The principle number one is a country should not have debt, huh? Because it's our debt now is rising like crazy, right? There's I think close to 2 trillion
Trillions.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
trillion. I mean, how do we pay that back? So the principle number one is, and it's no chainsaw approach. So I'm saying we should eliminate the debt in 20 years, 5% per year. So that should be doable. The next real great problem is we have so many regulators. Huh? We have thousands of regulators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we gotta reduce the regulations. So there was a survey done just about a year ago. I don't remember all the countries, but I remember 3 countries. Canada had 100 bureaucrats per thousand people.
Mm-hmm.
The United States had 70 bureaucrats per thousand people. Japan had 40 bureaucrats per thousand people. So when I look back, right, about 40, 50, 60 years ago, right, about 60 years ago when I built my first factory, right,
Mm-hmm.
I put a sign up, tool and die making, open for business. I didn't need any permits. For years, I didn't need no permits, right? I built one factory after the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Canada was a great country. The people in the townships were helpful. What do you need, right? When they applied for a building permit, they looked at this is stamped by a qualified engineer for snow load, for wind load. Well, fine, fine. To say, well, the building seems okay, everything is fine, there's your permit, right? So that's that. Now you got to wait sometimes for years to get a permit. So we can totally
Mm-hmm.
haywire. So we got to reduce the bureaucrats. But we
Yes.
want to be very civilized, right? In a civilized country, no, every citizen got the right to find a job, whatever the openings are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the openings are bureaucrats, so let it be. It's not the fault of the bureaucrats; it's the fault of the system, right? That's what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
So we got too many bureaucrats. The bureaucrats not going to be fired; they'll be hiring freeze till they retire. So every year retire maybe a few percent, and so you bring it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's important. And the number three of the economic charter of rights is the taxes. The taxes are so convoluted, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's thousands and thousands. When you look in the tax code, it's a very thick book, right, with thousands of paragraphs, and the one's more convoluted than the other. And the country has no way a country can exist or survive with such tax system, right? So I'm saying the tax system's got to be black and white. A high school student should be able to fill it out. If you make more money, you make pay more profits, right? So
Mm-hmm.
okay, so that's number three. And number four is a very important principle, right? Number four is small businesses. And small business I define as 300 employees and less. Those have always been the backbone of Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
If small business did well, the country did well. And small business provides the most jobs, right? But the problem now is we have so many restrictions, so much red tape that small business is practically tied up in chains and can't move, right? So basically, I want to build the small business, be part of it, support the economic charter of rights. And for small business, there should be no business tax
Mm-hmm.
because small business wants to grow, and when they hire employees, then they pay a wage tax, and governments make more monies when they collect the wage tax. So this would be immense if we would say, look, the taxman has no business at small business and no regulators, and let's get the red tape off and no
Hmm.
business taxes. The country will blossom economically and will grow So
Hmm.
we got to do that, right? That's number
Yeah.
four.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point there, is the no taxes for the small
Small
businesses.
business, yeah.
We did lose a lot of businesses over the last 5 years. So I think if we were to implement something like that,
Yeah,
we could start bringing all
we
those
gotta give
businesses
them.
back
We gotta
again.
take the chains off. We gotta give them
Hmm.
freedom, right?
Yes.
And saying, look, they don't have to. With the taxmen in large companies, they go in and there's a huge write-offs what you do. And for small business, if you take a customer and have lunch, you might be charged like with tax evasion or whatever, right? So,
Hmm.
but it's ludicrous, right?
It
Okay,
is.
so we need small business gotta be run like call it the capitalistic system of free enterprise.
Free
Without
enterprise.
the,
Hmm.
basically, we got to realize without free enterprise, we have no free society. Okay,
Hmm.
and we are so stifled now, and we have so many regulations. It's not a free enterprise anymore. So anyway, number four is free enterprise,
Hmm.
small business, no business tax, and number five is when the companies grow large and make some monies, profits, then they got to share with the employees. That's only fair, right?
Right.
Because I will come back to that uh, profit sharing. And number six is high school should end at grade 11
Hmm.
or grade 10. Pardon me, grade 10 and grade 11 and grade 12. We should teach high school kids or students, uh, uh, teach them trades, huh? Okay.
Hmm.
That would be a win for the students because it's extra knowledge. The more knowledge you have in life, the higher the wages are, right? And so that would be a big win for the students. It would be a big win for society because we're short of tradesmen, right?
Hmm.
And if they want to go to university after grade 12, fine, let everybody be. But a lot of kids would stay in the trades, right? Because it might be easier to start your own business. You might make more money. So that's number six. Number seven is very dear to my heart. No Canadian kid
Hmm.
should go to school hungry. That means breakfast got to be served. No Canadian kid should leave the school hungry. That
Hmm.
means lunch has got to be served. And by
Hmm.
law, the food would have to be organic.
Wow.
But that creates another problem, right? Because we got to realize that 95% of the food eaten in Canada, in the United States too, comes from industrial farms.
Hmm.
In industrial farms, you see no more eagles fly. Why? There's no more rabbits. There's no more pheasants. We spray so much fungicide and pesticide, we poison everything here,
Hmm.
right? But that leads again to another problem. Family farms are practically on welfare.
Hmm.
Kids of family farmers say, Mom, Dad, I don't want to be in farming. I don't want to be on welfare. So we must create a family farm foundation where we subsidize. If they grow organic food, we would subsidize them, right?
Hmm.
And if some people would say, a politician would say we cannot afford that, that'd be the wrong statement because if they would eat organic food, the kids, we would save billions on medical costs.